I'm alive still. I'm sorry about the Familiar Zero review, but I'll fix it. I will. I just don't know when. I'm back at school, so yeah, everything else is kind of taking a back burner. I'm really happy that I was able to get in all the classes that I had to get into, and I will be getting my bachelor's at the end of this semester. So I'm getting my bachelor's, and it only took me 4 years, and so that's awesome. So, and now I'm trying to get into grad school, and that's that. I will fix my Familiar Zero review. Basically, I just don't know when, so stay tuned. I mean, if you could see my room, I mean, you kind of see my room. It's a mess, and I've got a million other things to do this weekend, so I'll get to it when I get to it. You know, I have a life and I'm busy. Why I'm making this little video is to give a response to something Melina said in her review about how feminists like attack Disney princesses, and opening remark I would like to say is that Disney can't breathe without offending somebody in some way, so Disney movies will always be controversial, no matter what. And then moving on to why feminists have a problem with Mulan. If you look on the TV tropes page of Mulan, you'll see that people complain, or feminists complain, about her not accepting the chief advisor position when, you know, the emperor offers it to her after she kills Shan Yu. And also, the nostalgia chick also made a comment about that, like, oh, I'll just pretend she, you know, accepted that position. Nah. I'm not a big fan of the nostalgia chick, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think she's just kind of alright, but moving on. Well, and that's why, and I'll respond about why I think that's total crap, that people are like upset with her, you know, Mulan's character, for not being like, oh yes, you know, please, I totally want, you know, I totally want a counselor position, you know, please, you know, put me in the government. For one, Mulan is a soldier, and she's been away from home for, we don't know how long. The time frame is really sketchy, but whatever. She's been away from home for a significant period of time. And like she said, I think I've been away from home long enough. It is established subtly in the beginning that she is close with her family. I mean, like when, you know, her father says, you know, like, oh, you know, that you know, bloom will be the most, you know, beautiful of all when it blooms. So it's like still saying that, you know, he still loves her, even though, like, she let their whole family down by, you know, making a huge mess of things with the matchmaker, whatever. Her, you know, mom obviously supports her too, to let her daughter, you know, carrying on being this, like, oddball of a daughter that she has. So, right, she's close to her family, she loves her family. What do soldiers think about when they're away at war? They're thinking about going back home. They're thinking about the people they left behind, you know, their friends and family, and, you know, their husband or wife. There are female soldiers, you know, the people who they love, who they make a life with, and they have the hope in their mind that they'll get back home to then be able to make a new life or rebuild a new one or whatever. So I think it's bullshit to criticize a character who's a soldier for not then wanting to go back home at the end of a war. If it was a male character that said that, nobody would say anything. I mean, like, God, I can think of, like, so many, if, you know, we're staying animated, so many anime series where there's male soldiers who, like, talk and think all the time about, like, their home and their family, and then wanting to be with them again. You know? And I'm sure other people can think of a bunch too. So right. And, you know, she may not even care about politics. You know, we don't know. It's her choice, her decision, what she wants to do with her life. So that's the criticism of Mulan. That's my rebuttal. And also, like, I completely agree that, you know, characters being girly does not mean that you're anti-feminist. Like, and there are stories that have played with that imagery. Like in Buffy, in the first season of Buffy, Buffy kills the villain of the series, and for all Joss Whedon knew at the time of the show, because I don't think Buffy had been renewed, you know, when he wrote and directed. That was his first time directing, you know, the last Prophecy Girl, the last episode of Buffy. Like, she's wearing this beautiful white dress that she wanted to wear to a school dance, but instead she, you know, goes and, you know, defeats and kills the villain wearing this beautiful dress and being, you know, feminine and sexy. And Buffy is. Like, I know they talked about, like, her costuming of her clothes. They said that they put her in, like, darker colors at first, but, you know, like, when they were doing costume tests, you know, with Sarah Michelle Gellar, but then they, like, put her in, like, brighter colors, and they said, like, then she was Buffy. Anastasia, when Anastasia kills the villain, she, you know, was wearing, you know, her, you know, dress to, like, re-enter herself in, you know, like, royal society, and then, you know, that gets torn apart, but she's still, you know, wearing this dress. And then in the last episode of Iran High School Host Club Haruhi, she was dressed up as a fairy princess for, like, the, I don't know what the hell school event was going on. It's been a while since I watched Iran. So right, she was dressed up like a princess, and all the other hosts were dressed in, like, French, you know, Dauphin kind of clothing. And then, you know, they, you know, rush because they have to, you know, make sure, you know, Tabaki doesn't leave Japan. So, you know, all Haruhi and the twins are, you know, off and, you know, rushing and going to try to get him back. But then, you know, one of the twins falls off. I think it was Hikaru, and, you know, Kaoru was like, oh, you know, you're hurt. So right. But then Haruhi, you know, steps up. She takes off the wig that she has, you know, to reveal her short hair to then, like, just be like herself. She's not wearing a costume anymore. But then she, you know, drives her own horse-drawn carriage to then go and save her prince. That's what that imagery is playing with in that episode is prince and princess images. So right, you can be feminine and still be a feminist and believe in equality. I mean, I'm not feminine at all. I hate dressing up so much. It makes me nervous and pissed off. I hate putting on makeup. But just because a woman does wear makeup and, you know, likes to look good doesn't mean she's not a feminist. And, like, I mean, Christ, look at Sex and the City. Like, one of the most progressive shows, you know, that's been made in recent memory. And, you know, I don't think I even need to say anymore. Sex and the City. There you go. There's your example. Okay, so that's all. Auf Wiedersehen.